All right, in rock climbing, every route is a series of small decisions: where to reach, when to reset, how to keep moving up. Living with Parkinson's can demand that same kind of steady determination. In this Aging Untold Extra, Tisha Powell introduces us to one man whose climb at a gym inspired a movement to upend Parkinson's disease.
If you've ever watched someone rock climb, you know it takes planning, patience, and grit, one move at a time. For people living with Parkinson's, that kind of determination can matter well beyond the wall.
When you have Parkinson's, your world becomes smaller and you make smaller movements.
Jonathan Lesson, a retired physician, was diagnosed with Parkinson's more than 20 years ago. When he wanted to try climbing, he says gym after gym told him no, until one finally said yes.
I called this one and I found Molly.
Gosh, it's crazy to me that people said no to him.
Molly Donnellan Kupka doesn't accept no. The then director of Sport Rock Climbing Center in Alexandria, Virginia, started climbing with Jonathan twice a week. Aging Untold expert Catherine Ambrose says climbing pushes the body to practice what Parkinson's can take away: bigger movement, coordination, focus, and trust.
Well, you can see that cognitively he's being stimulated and he's having to think through and balance and really work his whole entire body, his core, his hands, his feet, everything. Just getting a tremendous workout.
Ambrose says another program called Rock Steady Boxing is an activity that's helped some Parkinson's patients.
And there's something about the boxing and the movement that helps people stay steady on their feet longer.
I found the one yes.
As for Jonathan, the one yes grew into a nonprofit, Upending Parkinson's, which connects people with Parkinson's to climbing programs designed to help them keep moving.
And if this interests you, you can watch Aging Untold Extra right here on KLTV and KTRE. The show airs every weekday afternoon at 2:30.